Hi everyone, I'm George Kassouf and I'm an exercise instructor in Washington, D.C. Go Nats! So you did the warm-up video and now you're ready to do some weights, but you don't have any weights around the house. But if you think about it, you really do have a lot of tools at your disposal. I've collected some from my own house so I can show you what we're going to do in today's back, bicep, and leg workout. So I've collected a broom, a nice Afghan knit by my sister, a Dutch oven, some canned goods with also some other heavy items that I can use, a tool kit that's got some weight to it, an empty bucket, a chair, a can of paint, and an empty grocery bag. I won't be using this, but just in case you don't have a bucket, you can use an empty bag, as long as it's durable and has soft handles on it. All right, so we'll put that aside. So you did the warm-up, you're ready to go. But why don't you put me on pause and go collect what you need. All right, I'll meet you back here. Welcome back. So let's start with getting everything together that I'm going to use for my first exercises. So I'm going to use the bucket and I'm going to put, I'll tell you how many pounds everything is. This is 2 pounds of sugar, a pound of frijoles, brought back from Honduras by my cousin, beloved cousin. So that's 3 pounds. Some boxes of lentil soup that are about a pound each. So here's 5 pounds. Some canned goods, each one's roughly about a pound. So here's some more. I'm losing count, but you'll keep track. And then you can also decide how much you want. I think I can get that one in there. There we go. Perfect. So then I need this chair, which I'm going to put right here. And I'm actually going to turn it this way for our purposes today. And I'm going to have my toolkit and my paint can also ready when I need it. So first of all, I'm going to start with a 2-arm row. Let's move that to the side. I'm going to grab my bucket of weight. I'm going to go into a hinge position. And you did warm up, right? Make sure you warm up. And then I'm going to do some rows. I'm going to do these rows for 45 seconds. So I'm going to pull back and release, pull back and release, pull backwards. So instead of pulling straight upwards and getting it all in the shoulder, I want to pull backwards. So I really engage a lot more mid-back muscle. And I'm going to keep breathing throughout this whole thing, keeping my chest up, but my body as hinged as possible. So I have 15 more seconds. And I'm just not even going to worry about the number of reps. I can already feel I'm getting tired in that side. And I have about 5 more seconds. All right, and remember, you can always do this to music. So then I'm going to start with a set of squats. I'm going to just take one of those cans right here. I'm going to go into a squat. And for 45 seconds, I'm going to just do these figure eights. So this is one where it's going to be a tendency not to breathe. I want you to breathe. You're going to really fire up those leg muscles. And you notice I'm not bending over too much. I have to bend over a little bit, but I just want to do these figure eights. I'm already at 20 seconds and my thighs are burning. I hope you're feeling the same thing. This is just our first exercise. 15 more seconds. Actually, let's go for 20 so I can get it right on the number I want to get it on. Make it easier. Keep going. Remember, you got to keep your head up to breathe because once you drop your chin, you start to close off your air passage. And one more rep should do it. I'm going to put it back in. And now I'm going to put it in the other arm and do the same thing. 45 seconds of rows. And again, I'm trying to get hinged from the hip, not from the back and neck. So I want to keep my back still but flat. And again, I'm pulling it to the side. Now I could do the same thing with the can of paint. It's going to probably weigh a little bit less, like 7 pounds, 8 pounds. Or I could do it with my tool chest, and that's going to be, or my tool kit, and that's going to be whatever weight is already in there. I have just a few more seconds. And there you go. I'm going to put that down. Then I'm just going to go into regular squats for 45 seconds. Anytime you need to take a little break, take one, but try to make it not last longer than 15 seconds. All right, in my squat, you'll notice my arms are not going in front of me because that makes it a little easier. I want to make sure my legs are working. So I'm just going up and down. And you decide about the width of your stance, totally up to you, what feels most comfortable on your knees. And I have about 10 more seconds of squats. And there I go. Now, I would normally do another set of rows. Again, same thing, both arms. But for purposes of this video, I want to get as many exercises as I can. So you can put me on pause right here again and do those rows again and do those sets of squats again. I'm going to move on to the next exercise after you do that. So my next exercise are some reverse flies. I'm going to just take 1 pound cans. Let's see, what have I got? Garbanzo beans and pumpkin. You never know when you're going to put together what kind of recipe I might find. I'm going to go into that hinge exercise again and do some reverse flies. Again, I'm working into those mid-back muscles. Now this is a pretty light weight, but it's allowing me to get a greater range of motion, and that's what I really want to go for. And I'm going to do this for 45 seconds. And I'll tell you, 45 seconds, doing it properly is going to feel a lot more vigorous than improperly with greater weights. You'll notice I'm not slinging, and I'm also trying to hold the weight at the top for just an extra little bit to make those muscles work longer. Like I said, it's only 1 pound in each hand, but I'm feeling it. So I've just got a few more seconds here. And there we go. I'm just going to hold on to these because I'm going to do a second set. I want to do some different type of squats now. I'm going to go squat, knee, squat, knee. So now I've added a little balance work to it. And it's also going to have an aerobic effect. My heart rate's going to rise a little bit. If you'd rather not do that, just go into a regular squat. And since I didn't use my biceps with the rows like I did earlier, I instead did the flies, I'm now just doing some very light bicep curls. Not enough to exhaust me. But I'm still keeping some movement going on in my upper body. Compound movements are some that are more like natural functions of the body where we move around all during the day, but they also burn more calories. And I have 10 more seconds here. And you can hear my breathing getting labored. And there we go. And then I'm going to do a second set of flies. So I'll hinge over, fly. This time I'm going to add a little triple rep to it and then come down. A little triple rep and come down. Again, I try to keep my back real straight. I don't want to say stick out my butt, but you don't want it to fold in either. You want to try to keep your back straight. And adding that little extra rep up there is going to just make it burn a little bit more between the shoulder blades. You can also see that I'm not going straight out. I'm going slightly backwards. I just engage more mid-back muscle that way. And I can get one more rep in. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break, about 15 seconds, and then I'm going to go back to those squat knee lifts with a little extra part this time. So I'm going to go squat, double knee, squat, double knee, squat, double knee. Whoa! Told you it works on balance. Double knee, squat, double knee. All right? And again, if you don't want to do the double, go back to the single. If you want to make it more challenging, do a triple. It's all about working on your balance here. I have 15 more seconds. Whoa, one more. And since I started on that leg, I better go to this leg. And then relax. So, another back exercise. Again, kind of a row and kind of a fly. I'm going to use my Dutch oven. I don't need the top. I've also put some other things in it to make it heavier. Some other kind of household utensils. So I'm going to hinge over again and pull and release. 45 seconds. So pull and release. Pull, release. So let's say you don't have a lot of cans, but maybe you have water bottles around, empty water bottles, or anything with a closed cap to it. Fill it with water. You create your own weight. You can make it as heavy or as light as you need by putting as many in or not. So 15 more seconds. And about 3 more reps will do it. I'm looking at this clock over here. That's where you see me looking down. And 1 more rep. All right, I'm going to put that down, give my back a little stretch. And then I'm going to just do some series of squats called halves and wholes. So I'm going to go down all the way, come halfway up, go down, come all the way up, and then go halfway down. So I call these super reps, and I'm going to do it for 45 seconds. So all the way down, halfway up, all the way up, halfway down, all the way up, all the way down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way back up, halfway down, and all the way back up. So all the way down, halfway up, down, all the way up, nice and slow, halfway down. I'm trying to keep my speed consistent. And if I used music, that would help me, but I can't do it under the YouTube copyright licensing laws, which I totally understand because they protect our artist. And there we go, that was 45 seconds. So that's basically my back muscles. Now I'm going to work my biceps. I can use the same thing. So this, what did we figure, about 10 pounds and 7 pounds? So since I have an uneven, I'm going to switch them at some point. All right, so I'm going to do some biceps for 45 seconds, curling up and curling down. Make sure you exhale. You'll also see sort of the method of this routine is to alternate upper body and lower body. So I do something upper body, I do something lower body. It kind of gives one set a break while I work the other side. And because I only give myself 15-second breaks, it's going to have a bit of a cardio effect. The other benefit is I can pack way more exercises into a shorter amount of time. So 2 more reps will make it 45 seconds. And 1 more rep. And then I'm going to put them down and get ready for the switch. So this time I'm going to just do regular squats up and down. And this time I'll just keep my hands back up and down. 45 seconds of squats. Take that 15-second break if you need to. Get a drink of water, stretch if you need to. Just don't pause too long. All right, I have about 25 more seconds. Keep breathing. It's so much better to exercise with music, so I really encourage you. And a good rhythm beat, a good beats per minute, is usually about 125. That's typical for dance music or disco music. Use whatever works for you. Multiple studies have shown that people exercise better and more efficiently while using music. So there you go. So now another set of biceps. And you saw that I switched it. So now if one was heavier than the other arm's going to have to deal with it now. So up and down, 45 seconds. I'm not giving myself those breaks just because I want to get as many exercises in for you as possible. But you're welcome to put me on pause if you need to and take that break. And then I'll be doing another video for upper body, the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps, which you'll see in a moment as well. So that's 30 seconds worth. I can really feel it in my arms now. And let's say this is an uncomfortable grip. Grab 2 washcloths and just grab it with the washcloth around your under your hand, and that'll make it a little bit more comfortable in the hands. All right, I think 1 more rep will do it. Oh, goodness. So I'm going to now end it with just a stationary air squat. I'll wait till I get on a good point. All right, going for a 45-second air squat. Do longer if you think you can. And also feel free to do more reps of everything as well, or more sets. There's no perfect number. You're using whatever you have at home. I just want you to get some exercise in. It's great for your body. It's great for your mind, especially during times like this. So I have 20 more seconds of this miserable squat. Oh my goodness. I can feel my legs are trembling. I hope they're not apparent that way. So I have now 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh! So now I'm going to do some exercises for the low back. I'm going to move most of this stuff out of my way. Let's see. Don't need any of this. I'm going to put out the blanket. It is nice and cushy. So I'm going to do what's called a bird dog. In a bird dog, I want to make sure that I'm keeping everything still except some particular limbs that are going to move. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. This broomstick is going to tell me if I'm keeping myself still. So I line it up. It's kind of hard to do it on your own. So now it's still. And what I want to do as a bird dog is lift opposite arm and leg. And if the broomstick is not moving, then I'm keeping everything pretty still. And if you feel like it's about to move, readjust it. I think it's sliding backwards. There we go. You'll see the slowness with which I'm doing it. It makes me exert more control. And of course, I don't have to use a broomstick, but it's giving me some feedback on whether I'm keeping myself still. Because if I weren't, whoa, it would fall, just like it's moving right now. All right? So that's your bird dog. See if you can get 10 reaches for each side. Another exercise is just to do it one-legged. And again, keeping my everything else still. Planks are a wonderful exercise for the low back as well. I'll show you that in a separate video. But I'm going to do another low back exercise. I'm going to lie belly down. And I'm going to lift opposite arm and leg. And again, I'm trying not to twist my body. And I'm trying to lift each limb as high as it can. There's a version of this in Pilates called the swimmer or the flutter, where you go much faster and no limb is on the ground. It will look like this. So that's another option for a low back exercise. I'm going to do one more while I'm down here. This is involving the lower body for the weight load. And again, I'm going to keep my head down after I finish talking to you. But what I'm doing is trying to keep my upper body still and just use my lower body for the weight load on my low back. And I'm also going to feel this in my gluteus, in my rear end. So try 10 of those, and if it's too much, you also can do one at a time. Finally, for my low back, I'm going to go onto my back and just do some bridges. In my bridge, I want to think not of lifting my butt first, but of pushing my feet down into the ground and rolling it up into a bridge and rolling it back down. There's so many variations you could perform here. Going up and going right back down. I could stay up for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring it down. I could change it to a 5 count. All kinds of variations are good. The one thing you